The given question says that a number was mistakenly divided by 5 instead of being multiplied by 5, and we are supposed to find the percentage change in the answer. In this case, we can take the number as any number divisible by 5. Let that number be 50. Okay, therefore the correct answer was 50 into 5, which is 250, and the wrong answer is 50 divided by 5, which is 10. Therefore the change in answer is equal to 250 minus 10 is equal to 240. Therefore percentage change in answer is equal to 240. The percentage change in answer will depend on what we compare the change with. We can compare it with the wrong answer, or we can compare it with the correct answer. In case we compare it with the wrong answer, we get the percentage change in answer as 240 upon 10 multiplied by 100, which comes to 2400%. And if we compare it with the correct answer, the percentage change in answer would come to 240 upon 250 multiplied by 100, which will come to 96%. I think this will be the more appropriate way to compare, because we can always compare the error or the change in answer with the correct answer instead of with the wrong answer. In question, it is given that there are 4 students, A, B, C and D. They are given that A has scored 360 marks out of a total of 500. Then they have also given that A has scored 10% marks less than B. That means A's marks are actually 90% of B's marks. So we can write it as 90 upon 100 multiplied by B. Okay. Simplifying this, we get B's marks, which comes to 400. So B's marks are now we get as 400. Then they have mentioned that B has scored 25% more than C. That means B's 400 marks is actually 125% of C. So we can write it as 1 upon 125 upon 100 multiplied by C. This gives C is equal to 320. So C's marks of 320. Now they have also given that C has scored 20% less than D. That means C's marks of 320 are 80% of D's marks. Therefore, we get D's marks as 400. Therefore, D is equal to 400 marks out of 500. Therefore, percentage of D is equal to 400 upon 500 multiplied by 100, which comes to 80%. In the third question, it is given that A's salary is 30% more than B's salary. So, if B's salary is equal to 100 rupees, then A's salary will be 130 rupees. Now we are asked to find by how much percentage is B's salary less when compared to A's salary. For this, we'll first find the difference. Difference is 30, and this difference will now be compared with A's salary to find the required percentage. Therefore, required percentage is equal to 30 upon 130 multiplied by 100. Simplifying this, we get 300 upon 13 percentage, which comes to 23 integer 1 upon 13%. This is the required answer. Even though there are 22,000 voters, only 75% of them did vote actually. So the number of votes will be 75% of 22,000, which comes to 16,500. Now they have mentioned that the winner gets 52% of the votes, and we are asked to find the victory margin. So if the winner gets 52% of the votes, then the loser will get the remaining, that is 48% of the votes. So the victory margin will be the difference between 52% and 48%, that is 4% of the votes. So 4% of 16,500 comes to 660 votes. So that is the required answer. Even though this question is included in percentage and its application, it can also be included in ratio and proportion or weighted average. The actual concept used will be of weighted average. They are given that there is solution 1 which has 30% concentration, then there is a solution 2 which has 56% concentration, and then these two solutions are mixed in a certain proportion to get a net result of 40% concentration in the mixture. So we are asked to find that proportion. So in sums like these, I typically use this scale to find out the actual proportion in the easy way. So 30% is here, 56% is here. The net result, that is a mixture, is 40%, which is here. So it is a little closer to 30%. So the net result being closer to 30% means the weightage of this solution 1 will be higher in the mixture compared to solution 2. Okay, so how do we find what will be the weightage of this solution compared to this? So for that, we find the differences between these two values and these two values. So the difference here is 10, okay, and the difference here is 16. So the weightage of these two solutions will be exactly opposite to these two numbers. So the ratio of the differences is 10 is to 16, but the ratio of the weightage of these two solutions will be 16 is to 10, exactly opposite of these two values. Okay, so solution 1 upon solution 2 will be 16 upon 10, which when reduced comes to 8 upon 5. So which means 8 units of solution 1 mixed with 5 units of solution 2 will give us a mixture which has 40% concentration. Okay, so that will be our required answer. Thank you. In this question, it is mentioned that 35% of the students have failed in Hindi subject, whereas 45% students have failed in English. But it's also given that 20% of the students have failed in both these subjects. Okay, so that means these 20% students belong to both these values. So it's included in this 35% as well as in this 45%. So the number of students that failed in only in Hindi will be 35% minus 20%, which is 15%. Similarly, the number of students, percentage of students which failed in only in English will be 45% minus 20%, which comes to 25%. So if we want to find the number of students, percentage of students which failed in at least one subject, okay, at least one subject will be addition of these three values. So failed in at least one subject will be 15% plus 20% plus 25%. So the total comes to 60%. Okay, so if 60% of the students have failed in at least one subject, then the number of percentage of students which have passed in both the subjects will be 100 minus 60, that is 40%. Therefore, percentage of students who passed both subjects will be 100 minus 60, which is equal to 40%. Okay, so this is our required answer.